to give some background that will illustrate some of the things that have already been said. Regavim is a field-based organization, so we start from the ground up and we collect data, hard data, that draws the picture of exactly what's happening. After that, we take a step back and try to figure out what to do about it. But I want to give the audience a little bit of a background so that we can all be on the same page when we discuss in the panel moving forward. So this is a map of Judea and Samaria. The total area of Judea and Samaria is approximately 6 million dunams, which is just over 2,260 square miles. That's everything. The ASO framework divided this area up between areas A, B, and C. A and B, placed under full Palestinian civilian jurisdiction at the time, is just over 2.25 million square dunams. And area C, the remainder, is somewhere in the area of, as you can see on the screen, about 3.5 million dunams. Of that area, only approximately 848 square miles are viable, meaning areas that are not either IDF training grounds or nature reserves. So we're talking about an available area for construction of just over nearly 850 square miles. Now, what you see here in this image is the map of all Jewish settlement in Judea and Samaria. The entire thing takes up all the green dots. So all of the noise that you hear in international press about Israeli settlement and Israeli expansion, et cetera, takes up less than 1% of the total area of Judea and Samaria. Taken as a percentage of area C, which is the area placed under full Israeli jurisdiction, it's less than 2%. So we're talking about a very, very small amount of space that's taken up by Jewish settlement. So what we're here to talk about today is the other side of this coin. What's happening in the area C, the area placed under full Israeli jurisdiction, and this is what it looks like. This is what it looked like in 2009, when the Prime Minister of the Palestinian Authority launched the plan, the official Palestinian Authority plan, which is supported by the European Union and international governments and organizations, to unilaterally create a Palestinian state in Area C. At the time, in 2009, there were nearly 30,000 illegal structures in Judea and Samaria. Once that plan, known as the Fayad Plan, was launched, over the following decade, by 2019, that's what the map of illegal construction looked like. We mapped out each and every structure and we counted them. There were nearly 58,500 illegal structures in 2019, more than double the number that had been created in the years until 2009. Unfortunately, in the past 2 years, the situation has gotten far worse. This is what it looks like at the beginning of 2021. There are 72,274 illegal structures in Area C. Now, it's not only the problem of how many illegal structures have been built, it's also the problem of where they've been built. They've been built strategically. If you look closely at the map, you'll see that they are engineered, they're designed, they are planned, and they are constructed to connect blocks of areas A and B, to create a block of Palestinian Authority control, strategically connect these blocks, the pink blocks that are under Palestinian Authority control, and to cut off, to surround and strangle the Jewish communities in green. This is a massive strategic failure, a failure of the Israeli government for the past many years to identify the problem, to face the problem, to admit that there's a problem. Finally, around 2 years ago, due to our pushing of this issue, the Israeli government began to talk about the battle for Area C. and began to relate to the situation on the ground really as a quiet war. But the war is not only this illegal construction. We have identified and written about extensively, three different kinds of, three tactics of Palestinian annexation of areas under Israeli control in areas in Judea and Samaria, in Area C. The first is this illegal construction. The second is, I don't have it here, I apologize. I'll show you another slide. The second is agricultural, an agricultural takeover of land that is made possible by a loophole in the law that is made possible by the fact that the state of Israel did not extend Israeli law to this area. So what you see here in purple, if you can identify it, around all of these blocks, there's also agricultural takeover of land. And the third is something which we cannot show you on paper, but you can see for yourself if you go onto the internet, and that is the creation of an official Palestinian Authority land registry, where the state of Israel has not surveyed and registered state land since 1967. The Palestinian Authority is going actively about their business, surveying and registering to its ownership land all through Judea and Samaria, including land that is part of existing Jewish communities. So these three tactics are actually changing the map of Judea and Samaria. How much are they changing the map? We've actually measured this. Construction has taken over 95,200 dunams of land. Agricultural takeover is far worse. It's taken over 308,161 dunams of land. Altogether, we're talking about over 400,000 dunams of land. That's around 10,000 acres or 156 square miles. That's about 18% of Area C already lost to these three tactics of construction, agricultural takeovers, and that doesn't even include the land registry problem. So physically on the ground, the numbers are massive. The problem is unaddressed, and the state of Israel the government of Israel is essentially asleep at the wheel.
Naomi, just